Okay, so I've already planned out Monday, but I'm going to share with you how I plan out the rest of my week for my two kids. So after finishing up my Monday, I will then just continue on. Let me get my loop thing here. Where's that paper now? Ah, here it is. I printed this out. I want to, this is now my form 0, like your kindergarten student, and this is my form 1 student, 1st to 3rd grade. So I'll just basically do this. I want to have this I'll print this probably again, and laminate it. So let me just check here. Okay, so we start for both forms. You see, you start with Bible. So I'll just add this in there. So on Tuesdays, usually we do Bible and then catechism. And what I mean by catechism is we're not Catholic, we're just normal Protestant Christians. But I got this book. I don't actually write down the page number. I usually just open it up to see, okay, where did we finish up last time? I can write down the page numbers, but I don't actually see the need in doing that. So I think last time, yeah, this is the one we did last time. So we'll just go on to the next one now. I don't jump around. There's no specific way in which I'm doing it. I just go from the one piece to the next. So this is the one we're going to be doing next week. Like I said, I don't necessarily normally write that down. I just take out the book and then we do it. So we do Bible and catechism. And then we get into our loop A. Now for loop A, for my preschooler, or even those kindergarten, loop A has to do with the language arts. And for my first grader, this will be our loop A. So for my preschooler, we already did some number play. So on Tuesdays, we then do poetry. Now for poetry, once again, I don't write down. We're following this book, The Little Naturalist from Francis Frost. Oh, it's cute. Very cute. Very cute poems. I got my bookmark in there. I just pressed it in there. It used to be an extra library book. Once again, a nice thrifted book. So this is what we read last week, The Rainy Robin. I'll read it with her. And then we get this out. So this week we're going to be doing Dandelion Morning. We usually do poetry. She does poetry twice a week. So we'll do this one usually on Tuesday. And then we'll do this one, Mailbox Wren, on Thursday. So I'll just keep my bookmark in there. Book back on its place in the shelf. And then I'll just write in here. So for her, I'll just write poetry. And then we narrate. If there is, it's not always. Sometimes we act out something that we've read out in the poem, and I always ask her to draw me a little picture. I just give her like a normal, like a page like this, and I'll fold it in half, and then I just ask you, just draw me any one thing that you remember or liked from this poem. And then for my first grader, we're still in phonics, so for her, it's almost like a love-hate relationship things. I don't like it, but I still keep on doing it. It's this ordinary parent's guide to teaching your child to read. We've been going through the Good and the Beautiful's kindergarten. We've been going through this, and then we did a little bit of that treasure hunt from Prenda. Now, I know that's what they recommend when you do this, Charlotte Mason Cottage curriculum. I know that's the one they recommend. I have tried it. I don't like it that much. So I decided I'm going to go back to this one. So we're going to be doing, so let me check, on Monday, we did the review of the long vowel A and E, those ones, and I'm going to get out the book Corduroy for her, and then she's going to look up words in there. So Tuesday we're going to do a normal phonics lesson. I see this has to do with the E, that's the long vowel E sound. D-I, this is the long vowel. I sound. So we're going to, and Y is the long vowel. I sound. Okay. So we're going to be doing this lesson. And then how I do it is exactly how they suggest in the book. I read the sentence, then she just reads it after me. Or I read both of them, and then she just reads it. So we're probably going to do lesson 94. So I'll write Ordinary Parents Guide, lesson 94. Then, let's check y'all. Then, after loop A, we go into our number play, or like they call it, the maths loop. Let's check here. Okay, so for the one, and then the other child. Now, I've already gone out. We started at the beginning of the year with Math Mammoth, but then for this term, which started about in June, I switched us over to Math UC, the South African version. I'll explain in another video why I made that switch, but we've done quite a lot of work in Math Mammoth. So for this one, even though we've been only doing it for 6 weeks now, we've already jumped, and we're already now at week. We finished with week 10. Let me check there. Yeah, we finished with week 8. Let me check here. 9. Yeah, we finished with week 8, so we have to do week 9. Oh no, we finished with week 9. Sorry. And now we're going to do week 10. So week 10 has to do with 8 and something. So what we're going to do is, she's going to do Monday. She's going to count up in 2 and down in 2. And then we're going to do Math UC lesson 10A. And then she's also going to watch the video for that. Now, I've already gone out and I printed out of the student workbook the pages that we're going to do this week. So we're going to do 10A is on Monday, 10B Tuesday, 10C is on Wednesday, and then 10D is Thursday, and 10E will be then Friday. I don't generally do all the weeks, but or all the lessons in the week, but for this one, I think it will be good for us maybe to do the whole week's one out of lessons out of from the same level, from this lesson 10. Okay, then from Nikki. We are doing, for her, I started with that Math with Confidence, for her, Math with Confidence, the kindergarten one. I like it quite a lot. The only thing is, I realized we're doing it very slow, very, very slow. And I think I might need to just take a little bit of a break of that one, so that we can, let me check here. Have we done this? Yeah, we have done this. We might just need a little, yeah, we have done this. A little bit of a break. Maybe just get a paper clip so that she can just get some more time just to grasp some of those concepts. The concepts of the, oh my word. There we go. Okay, so I'll just put the paper clip on there. Tell me which page we are. It's page 39. So we're going to do it out of, I don't particularly like these books. I don't think they're the best, but we got it for free. And it's just like when we say, especially the age, she's 5 now, especially the age she is at. This is kind of nice because it's very simple, very just introductory to numbers. I don't think they even go, I saw they're number 7. They do go up to number 10, but it's very, very slow that they do that. So we'll do the page, what was that again? Page 39. We'll do page 39. Okay, then after the maths, then we get into loop B. Now let's see. Now where we finished off yesterday for loop B, we on Monday, so we finished up with the drawing. So it's there. the drawing. So now means Tuesday we're going to go to the next one. We're going to do our poetry. So this is what we do then together. So we're going to do poetry, narrate. If there is something, we act it out, and then both of them draw a picture. Now, this has to, I've included it here for my kindergartner as well. So both of them have got poetry there of the art lesson. Both of them do poetry. What we then do is I purchased quite a few of these various types of poetry books. Oh my word, this one is stuck. I'll have to check there. It's pushing up against something. Okay, I'll have a look there. Okay, so for her, we're currently doing this one, or for the one we're doing together as a family is from this one. It's this children's classic. I think it's what is it, Puffin book or what? Compiled by, I don't even know who's the compiler here. But in any case, it's a whole collection of poetry. Oh, we did this one last week from Lewis Carroll's. Quite nice. Quite a funny poem. So this week, we'll do then The Herring Loves the Merry Moonlight from Sir Walter Scott. Now, it's a very short one. I'll just read that through. I wonder, the Maldives shark. I wonder, I'll see about it. I think I'll read both of them then to the girls, and then they can draw something about it, and we'll definitely have something to act out. How we do the acting out is just on the fly. I don't overthink it. If I read something and I think, oh, we can pretend to be little fishes, or we can pretend to be little sharks, going to catch something. We're going to catch something, and then we are here now in our play area. See, there's the dog again. We're here in our play area, and then they'll just act it out, and then we'll just go on. I don't overthink it, especially at this age. It's just more about the ability to express what it is that they've read, and to be able also to tell me what it is that they've read. So for this one, this is my youngest child. She does poetry twice a week. This is what she will narrate. And then for my oldest one, we do poetry only when it's in the loop. So she only does poetry when it's in the loop. But basically, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 activities in the loop, it will be that you will at least do poetry once a week. I don't want more than 5 activities in the loop, because otherwise then it's going to mean going to have to skip or not do one of these things. And I want us to do at least poetry once a week. I enjoy quite a lot reading poetry. So then we do the poetry. Then after loop B is the literature book. Literature. Sure. Now for literature, we're still on Hercules. Now, we should have, because we had quite a unsuccessful, let me get this back here. We had a bit of a hiccup on Friday. So I couldn't finish on that. So I wanted us to finish this on Monday, or next week Monday. But we couldn't. We couldn't finish it now because, so we're going to have to do another day then of Hercules. You'll see, I don't write in the page numbers. I just add on, I'll just move the marker after Monday's reading. I'll just move the marker to the next one. So we'll do Hercules, and then we'll be finished with the mythology book about Hercules. Then you'll see it will be for both of the girls. Then we'll do our loop C. Now, loop C, let me check here. Okay, so on Monday we did the outdoor walk, which is there, the walk. So it means now we're going to go back then to the top, which means we're going to be doing paddle. So this is now for my oldest girl. We're going to do paddle to the sea. Now, chapter, let me check, what chapter are we at? Let me check. Let's see here. Okay. We're here at the shipwreck. So it's 14. Yeah, 14. We finished with this one, 13. And now we're here at 14. So I'll just write 14. I just have to check out if chapter 14. I'll just have to check here if I actually did. Here I've got my file for my geography and science things. Here at the back, got this index divider. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, luckily I wrote it down already. Okay, so for chapter 14, this is what we're going to do. I see there is some map work for this one as well. So I'll just write that up in here so that I know, okay, she will narrate. And then there will also be some map work. Then I'll explain on another time why let me explain it just so now. This is supposed to be history and geography. Now, where we live in South Africa, it's not actually required for a kid in first or second, or I think probably even in third grade, really to do like a physical subject of history. The subjects, the required government subjects are like, you've got your first language, which is got your first language. Let me check here, which can either be English or Afrikaans, and then you've got your second additional language. So you have to have two languages for grade 1, 2, and 3. And then we have maths, and then our fourth subject will be life sciences. Now, life sciences would then include everything from music appreciation to art appreciation to my girl does piano lessons as well, to art, the drawing, the art that they do in the week, anything like history, like what we're reading, the paddle book, anything like that will be in that category of life sciences. So it's basically just, and then the CAPS curriculum, it identifies over those grade 1, 2, and 3, over those years, it identifies some topics that they want you, or they would like the children to be introduced to. So you just basically have to touch it. They don't limit you to only those topics, and they don't also prescript it that you have to do those topics. But it's more of just like a general guideline, like that's what you're supposed to do with your first, second, or third grader. So, and also, we have done some this year for the first and the second term. We have done a little bit of like geography of our town. We live in a small town, a farmland town. And so we have done a little bit of geography about our town, some key areas in our town, how old it is. And it's like to sort of like give the girls idea, about where we are living in. But I want to then next year, when my oldest daughter is then in second grade, and my youngest one will then be officially then grade R, or you call that kindergarten. When she will be officially that, I want us to do the Blossom and Root, the level, I think it's level 0, the level 0 one. And that specifically is about the history of me. Art, music appreciation, and the history of me. So we're going to be doing it then, but we're only going to be doing that probably for the first half of the year. And then for the second half of the year, this is now where I come in, where I have to do some work. For the second half of the year, let me show you here. I've got this nice one, this Childcraft, The Story of South Africa. It's quite a nice book. It's got more or less like, it starts prehistory of South Africa, which is, but the main story starts here about 1500s. And then with that, I'm going to add in, I'm going to do a little bit of geography about South Africa. So because like I mentioned, we're naturally a bilingual family. So there's a few books here that are Afrikaans speaking, and some of them are English speaking. And then I'm going to be adding in some of these ones with that. But I also, that's something that this is a curriculum that I'm going to be developing myself. So I'll share that as I'm doing it. I'll share that as I'm doing it. So then to come back, we don't actually do history and geography as per the Charlotte Mason Cottage curriculum. So we don't do bibliospine. We also don't do any story of the world or anything like that. We just do some geography. Now, I decided I wanted to try this paddle book because a lot of people in the Charlotte Mason curriculum or Charlotte Mason philosophy, they generally do this paddle to the sea book. Where we live, it's not actually a book that's locally published or printed, and so as such you have to spend quite a lot of money to order it in from overseas. I would definitely, if I was another South African and I were to show them, it's not that it's a bad book. I mean, it's a pretty book. It's a big book, but I mean, I think I paid almost like $300 for this book. There's quite a big demand for it. I will probably be able to, because I mean, I've covered mine in contact to keep it nice and clean. There's a big demand for this book on the second-hand market. So I'll probably be able to resell it now for 200 Rand. But I mean, seriously, I think you'll probably be where we live. I think probably it'd be best to try and maybe look for something else. Something else, rather than having to spend all that money to buy the book. But since we have it, I do it. So we then do paddle. So every time they're in the Loop C, they have history and geography, we just do another chapter of paddle. So that could mean like 1, 2, 3 sometimes lessons of paddle to the week, or sometimes it could just mean 2 lessons of paddle to the week. So for this week, we are now there. So we're going to do paddle there on Tuesday. And then after Loop C, we are then going into the foreign language. Now, our foreign language isn't foreign language. That's just our second language uses then Afrikaans. Let me check here. This is the book we are doing out of. I'll just check here. Where did I put that mark? Okay. So, page 47 is what we're going to do on Monday. Which probably just going to do the next page. Yeah. Page 48. On Tuesday. And then, even though this thing finishes there, there's no more, you see, that's supposed to be your daily work. Even though it finishes there, I then add in there piano at the end. So I don't add the piano practice to my Loop B or my Loop C, because if playing a musical instrument is a lot like learning a new language. You won't be able to learn a second language just doing it like once a week, like once every 5 days or once every second day. You will never be able to do it. So I do it then every day. It's not a lot. We just do 5 minutes. But you'll be amazed how this is one of those things. Consistency is always the winner. So just keep on doing it. Just keep on doing it every day, 5 minutes. Sometimes we just have like one piece and we play that piece the whole week. Sometimes we don't yet quite master the piece in that week, and then we swap it over to the next week. So I'll just put in there, then music, and then that then for my Tuesday. And then I'll go on for Wednesday. Okay, and then I'll just do exactly the same activity over there. Yeah, I hope this has helped you and helped you see how you can actually apply this curriculum to 2 children. Now, I know probably, just to say, mine is not a kindergarten. My youngest one is not kindergarten. She's technically preschool. So there's lots of, I'm not forcing her to do anything. If she, okay, yes. Sometimes I am asking her, she needs to sit still, at least give me 5 minutes of work. But for the most part, she's not forced to do any of the Loop C stuff. So she does, so basically her day mostly finishes, we'll do the poetry with her. She'll does her math. She'll sit in for the poetry with my oldest girl. She always likes to read or to listen to the story, so she'll listen to that. But then basically her day will be finished. And then there's lots of outside trampoline time, or she can take one of the books from off the shelf and entertain herself, or we've even got some tangrams over there that she can work at. Okay.